Alright, so this video is being made simply because it doesn't matter what level I am, to be honest with you. I died like 5 times against this character. Probably more, probably like 7. And this character is... I'm trying to get the Black Knight Tiche. So if anyone's played this game, you'll probably know the reason why I keep dying. Because apparently this character is very much like Millennia. It doesn't matter what your level is. If you're not fast enough, you're gonna get your ass killed. So I'm switching weapons, and it doesn't even matter how strong I've become, because it doesn't matter against this character. Speed, all this character's powers is within her speed. Within, I don't even know if it's a her, but it was within the speed, within their power, and within the leveling of the weapon. So you know how people say it doesn't matter how high your level is, as long as your weapon is high and your potency of your arcane, your holy or whatever is high, and your dex and your armor is strong. Well, that's what the Black Knight has on. So this is not regular Black Knight you find at the Holy City. This is the legendary champion duel. So I try to fight the legendary champion. Now this is the hardest, probably the hardest legendary champion that you will have to fight in the game. At least that's what I think so far. This will be a bitch of a battle. Died like 7 times to this enemy, and I'm going to use this, but I don't believe I'm strong enough to get out the amount of power I need to get out. Increase attack and defense for self and allies. Alright, so I'm gonna cast this first, and then I'm gonna cast this second, because this is so powerful, because this is high intelligence. You need 60 intelligence to use this. This takes up 3 magic slots, so you cannot put anything else within your slot once you have this in. This is 1, this is 3. If I want to, I could put on that talisman and increase my memory slot by 2 more, but I would have to replace intelligence and replace strength. So it's I gotta see how this is gonna go. So I'm gonna try this battle out. I'm not, you know what, let me see what I'm doing first before I even teleport to the location. Because it really doesn't matter how high your level is. This enemy is going to obliterate you regardless. Because you have to understand the mechanics of this champion. Because this is a champion battle. A champion's fight. Like other bosses you fought in the game is nothing compared to this champion. Godfrey is nothing compared to this champion. And this is not even a demigod. This is just a legendary champion, which means that they're stronger than other champions. They're legendary, so they're like demigod strength. But she's a little stronger than a Godric. Not Godfrey, Godric. That's the only solution I could possibly think. The beginning of the battle, hit him a couple of times with the power, and then quickly switch off. But well, here's the thing: the moment I hit him, 1, 2, the moment you hit to try to back up, and you try to heal, you can't go to look for your heals after that happens. You have to have your heal within your slot as soon as that happens. So I'll have to. Okay, so next time I'll remember to keep my heals right in front of me. I don't have to switch or anything, because I had it on my FP. I shouldn't have it on FP. I should have just switch off the moment. As soon as I put on the FP use and consumption, I should have switched off. So the first thing I'll do is to cast this and do this again. and then that should be that for that, and then quickly switch off and then knock him off the ass. Gives me enough time to then go for a heal, but I can't be looking around for my heal. It have to be there immediately right there. So that's my strategy. Hopefully it works this time. The knock off the ass works, but knock off the ass works, but he has to be exactly in front of you for it to affect him, for him to attack you. So you have to predict as soon as he goes for the attack, then to do the knock off the ass. It will not work unless he's directly in front of you, because he dodges everything you do. You have to wait for him to do the attack. But that's stupid, because if he does the attack, then he gets some shots off, and you never know what attack he's about to do. But the knock off the ass works. It's just that this frost weapon ain't doing the... I think I know what I gotta do. Because there's two things that knock him off his ass. The shield and the spike. And both cause heavy damage. But the thing is about the frost one. The frost one don't miss. It's within the arching range, whereas the shield is and the spike are forward hitting. I mean, I don't know what to do here, so I'll try something. maybe. Okay, so magic ain't working. Charge attacks. That ain't working. I can't put Radagon on it because I'll take more damage. To upgrade strength, dex. Up fate as well. So this weapon deals faith damage. That's good. This weapon deals arcane damage. My arcane is shit. Let me try the other shield. Doesn't do anything. But I think I put arcane on this shield instead of faith on the shield. I should have put faith on it. Yeah, I should have put faith on this damn shield. I'll try it again. My arcane is weak, that's why. See, this is what I'm talking about with this game. It's like the weapons that you really want that are good are sometimes some of the weakest weapons. Like 200 damage means nothing to this enemy. And all the strong faith weapons aren't weapons that you could charge forward with. So, specifically design certain enemies for you to be difficult, simply on what weapons you're going to choose. But what weapons you're going to choose might not be within the actually pull set of your gameplay that you choose. You choose Magician, and the spike weapons that push forward falls into arcane territory. I don't know, man. You really have to like rethink your strategy. I'm gonna have to rethink my strategy multiple times. Wait for this enemy to make an attack, but if I wait too long for this enemy to make an attack, could do a downward spiraling thing like Millennia, and that's no good. It's like everything you're trying to predict for this enemy, he might actually do something that might one-shot you. So I might actually have to increase my health to 80 in order to survive that attack, just to have a fighting chance. I thought maybe if I increase my intelligence to use Comet Azure, maybe that'll do something, but that doesn't do jack squat. Or maybe it does. It's just that this enemy is so fast, he doesn't give you time to even contemplate on doing multiple things. See how this goes. This battle right here is truly for champions. Like, you don't even have to worry about fighting anyone towards the end of the game. Like, this is truly a champion's battle right here. Like, boy, I'm already above level 200 and it won't even matter. This battle is specifically set to be difficult, regardless of what level you are. It's like you have to be relentless with this boss. You cannot give them an opportunity to even close in the gap. You have to keep moving over and over and over again towards them. You can't give them time to even think. You have to be faster than the enemy. Like, how the fuck? How do you avoid that? Like, there's no way to avoid that unless you run away. That's why I say his move is like that of Millennia. There's no way to avoid that unless you run away. You take off lock on and run away. So every time he jumps in the air, you have to take off lock on and run the fuck away, because there's no way to avoid it. But you never know when he's about to. Okay, so anything that has to do jump in the air, take off lock on and run away. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like what I could say about this, because I switched to this weapon to do the. I switched to this weapon to do the shield, and then I pressed this to do this, but then it was still on the shield. Like, the animation set is not fast enough for the enemy type. Like, it shows that I was holding this down, the triangle, and then I pressed the R1, but it still stayed on the shield. So this is the shit about the game that I don't like. If you're going to put difficult enemies or fast enemies, then you have to make sure the decision for your actual game to execute certain things is accurate the moment the player presses it. Because I shouldn't have been on my shield. I should have been with the spike, with the fork, but I was still on shield. I don't know. I'm gonna try one more time with this boss, and if I don't get it this time with this boss, I might have to level up my health at least to 80%, because there's no way to dodge that attack more than once if he does it more than once, unless you stay at a distance. The only thing I could possibly think that will work on this enemy is to keep up the attack on this enemy, like relentlessly keep up the attack on this enemy over and over again. So I might have to switch to my curved swords. The only thing I could possibly think is to keep up the attack on this enemy, because projectiles don't work. The enemy's too fast to dodge away from it. I have to wait for this enemy to get in my. I have to wait for this enemy to get to where I need him to get to in order to knock him off his ass. Because if he's not within my visual paralysis, I mean not paralysis, visual line of sight. My line of sight. It's not gonna work. No matter how many times I try to anticipate, it's not gonna work. If they're not charging to do an attack forward, it's not gonna work. I have to catch them in a physical attack moving forward. Okay. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, so you're telling me that there's actually a hole in the ground? I thought there was no hole in the ground. And if there was a hole in the ground, why didn't the enemy fall into the hole when I was pushing them into the hole? Are you telling me this actually in the boss's design that even if you push him all the way towards the hole, he wouldn't fall into the hole? But I could fall into the hole if I had no idea that there was even a hole to begin with. I thought this was a mission that locks you into a fight with this enemy, that there was no hole whatsoever. Okay, so I guess I'll use the holes as strategy to try to knock him all the way into it to kill him. I had no idea there was a hole there. I thought this was supposed to be a champion's battle, one-on-one, brawling, without no interference from the environment. So that's another point off for the fucking game. Apparently it's not a champion one-on-one duel. There's other elements of the world you have to factor in, which it wasn't the same with Godric. There was no hole in the fucking ground. I had that enemy. I keep stun locking the enemy, and you're now telling me a